Yo, what is going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me for another manga chapter review. And in today's video, we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the brand new chapter for Black Clover, Chapter 336, titled The Final Enemy. And before we jump into today's video, guys, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for all the support on my recent video. You guys are absolutely insane for showing the amount of support on that video that you guys did. As I'm recording this video, that video has, I believe, 1.7 thousand likes. So that's one of my best Black Clover videos, and you guys absolutely killed it on that last video. So I just wanted to go ahead and tell you guys thank you so much for all the support and all the comments that you guys left. I loved replying to all your guys' comments, even though some of you guys were in the comment section acting a fool. I love I love reacting and interacting with all your guys' comments. But if you guys are new to the channel and do like anime and manga related content such as this, please consider sticking around and subscribing, as I will be bringing you guys even more anime and manga related content. And if you guys do enjoy today's video, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It greatly helps out the video as well as the channel. And go ahead and leave a comment at the end of the video what you thought about the chapter and the video as a whole. What do you think is going to happen next chapter? I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about this chapter, because this chapter leaves off on a crazy cliffhanger that I'm not going to spoil until we get to the end of the synopsis. But with all that out of the way, guys, let's just go ahead and jump into the damn chapter already. Opening chapter 336 off, we resume with the dread and terror left behind by Lucius on the Clover Kingdom, leaving many of the Clover Kingdom citizens in attendance to what has just transpired, questioning the true nature of the Wizard King's motives, asking themselves the Wizard King is the enemy, while also recalling how it was he who risked his life in order to save them. With disbelief and confusion beginning to spread amongst the kingdom citizens like wildfire, we then transition to all the Magic Captain Knights as Yuno now enters alongside them. All of the captains now using this opportunity to catch Yuno up to speed as to what has happened to both Julius and Asta. Yuno becomes visibly infuriated and stunned at what has happened. With the briefing on the current situation now concluded, Rill uses the opportunity to make a joke of Asta's celebration, saying how it was ironic how it also became his wake. Charlotte now reprimanding Rill for his remark about Asta. Yami, now questioning Asta's death, calls out to Noct, where he then explains to Yami and others that he can enter any shadow of any person he chooses to, but at the moment, he cannot do so for Asta. Now giving the outcomes that Asta is either somewhere incredibly far away, somewhere in another continent, or in fact dead. With this information now given to them, Yami and Jack mull over at the fact that Julius has had two souls within him all along, with Jack making further comparisons to the elves. Vengeance looking emotionally defeated as this same situation happened to him not too long ago. He can't help but feel incredibly sympathetic for Julius. Nozel, pointing out Lucius's sibling connection to the Dark Triad, continues to assert how he must be far superior to anyone in the Clover Kingdom, with him being able to dominate all devils still residing within the underworld. Rill, adding on to Nozel's observations, says with him having both Julius's time magic and Lucifero's gravity magic, he's way out of their league. Yuno, now telling all of his accounts while investigating the demonic activity, says how when doing so, he encountered the Supreme Devil who watched in the Spade Kingdom. Saying how he was accompanied by a large amount of high-ranking devils, he believes that this was more than likely a diversion for Lucius's true plans. With the possibility of a terror being created by the devils to the underworld, Fuegoleon turns his attention back to Lucius's soul magic and how he demonstrated its terrifying power by using it on Sister Lily and bestowing her Beelzebub's magic. Gueldre of the Purple Orcas pointing out how a supposed Judgment Day is to take place in 7 days, Yuno tells them he will have to do it. Yuno recalling back to when he was promoted to Grand Magic Knight, Asta was there to congratulate him as well as envy him. Asta telling him that it's infuriating how Yuno's always ahead of him, that no matter what, he promises to catch up and surpass him. Yuno, now holding on to these last moments with Asta vehemently, tells himself how, to him, it was always Asta who was ahead. With Yuno stepping up to the responsibilities now bestowed upon him in these trying times, says how if Asta's dead, it will be him to defeat Lucius. Leaving off on Yuno's heroic declarations, we see Lucius welcoming back Adramilk, Adrammelk, stunned as to the power gained by Yuno in a year's time, explains how he defeated a group of high-ranking devils in the blink of an eye. Lucius telling Adrammelk that in all the tens of thousands of his predictions, there is only one where they have the upper hand, continuing by stating that the key to the future resides in him, the being with two grimoires, Yuno Grenbril. Lucius ending his sermon by saying for the sake of world peace, he will crush Yuno, as well as Yuno telling Lucius that he will defeat him in order to become the Wizard King. As the chapter begins to fan flames towards the epic battle between the two factions, we see Asta unconscious on what seems to be the shore of a beach. As the chapter leaves off on an ominous and interesting cliffhanger, we get a final panel of a mysterious person finding Asta while saying, "Oh, there you are." Who exactly is this mysterious person? Is he an ally to Asta? And what are his intentions with him now finding the unconscious Asta? And alright guys, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up the chapter synopsis for chapter 336. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over into my thoughts and overall review of the chapter. And oh my gosh, guys, what did we just read? Oh my gosh, oh my lord. Yuki Tabata is just like, he is killing it with these chapters, man. We have been on a super fire streak with these chapters. Like, let me tell you, like, geez, guys, like, remember last video how I said I don't know where to start? Like, legitimately, I don't know where to start with telling you guys and giving my review and thoughts on the chapter. Like, I legitimately could start anywhere from the chapter. It was so good. I mean, overall, we're just going to get out the way. Out of 10, this chapter was an 11, you know. This chapter was absolutely fire, flames, and it just packed, oh my lord, guys. It just was such a heartfelt, like, chapter with Yuno, like, looking back on Asta, and then Asta being transported, seemingly, by, it was Sister Lily, by Sister Lily to some unknown location. I'm very curious as to where exactly Asta was transported. It is interesting how they didn't kill him, right? Like, I don't know. I would assume a lot of people may reference that this is like Asta's in the afterlife, but I don't think so, right? Because it just doesn't seem likely to me that he would be like sort of like in some sort of afterlife. I definitely do think he is in some sort of different location that's outside of the four kingdoms, right? The Clover, Spade, Heart, and Diamond Kingdom. So he's definitely probably somewhere there. I mean, I guess we'll just go ahead and start at the beginning. I like how, because previously, right, a lot of the conflicts, well, more specifically the reincarnation arc, there wasn't a lot of sort of despair with the Clover Kingdom citizens until after the reincarnation had already started. So I like how they're actually incorporating the citizens in, like, looking at the Wizard King, you know, Lucius, rather, and being like, wait, like, the Wizard King's the enemy? How could this be? Like, I like how they're actually bringing the despair and, like, panic of the citizens into the situation. That definitely is really, really cool to see. And then, you know, just moving on, just, like, seeing, like, Yuno's face at what the captains told him, what happened, like, that just paints the perfect picture of, like, just the chapter, and just, like, you know, everybody's reactions really reading it is just kind of like, you know, this what the hell moment, like, just utter despair on the face of Yuno is just, like, really, it's crazy to see, because, you know, Yuno is very, very reserved in a lot of his sort of a lot of his screen timing, right? I would say the last time we really saw, like, a big emotional, like, step forward from Yuno was probably in the fight with Zenon, when he was on the verge of defeat by Zenon until he acquired his Spade Kingdom grimoire. So it's really good to see more of Yuno's, like, feelings, and, like, that layer being pulled back to see more of Yuno. So yeah, and I just like the whole conversation between everyone, you know, real cracking jokes as to, hey, you know, That's kind of odd, right? It was Asta's celebration and his wake, like, like just a lot of, like, just like nervous dialogue from a lot of the characters, still trying to grasp the situation at hand, at what just happened. And moving on, hearing the viewpoint of Yuno in when he investigated the demonic activity, seeing how that was purposefully set up by Lucius to be a diversion. Now, I don't remember who, but I feel like I saw someone say that they believed the diversion or the demonic activity that I believe, yeah, it was Fuegolion told Asta at the celebration that Yuno was actually looking into. I believe I saw someone, I can't remember where, I believe I saw someone say that they think it's a diversion for Lucius to get Asta alone, which was, they nailed it on the head with that one. So it is good to, interesting to see, like, all of that being explained to us. And it also is very interesting how Adramilk, like, acknowledged the strength and power of Yuno gained ever since he saw him, like, a year ago, right? Like, he's just like, oh wow, now that guy is just like crazy. He just wiped out a bunch of high-ranking devils like it was nothing. So, and also moving on to see Lucius also acknowledge Yuno's strength by saying, he's the last one that we need to get rid of in order for our plan to be, like, fulfilled and our my predictions to be completely true. So all along we thought Asta was really the only, because they referenced it a lot, right? They said, oh, that you're the final blemish on our perfect world. So it seemed as though Lucius wasn't truly being transparent in that statement, also having Yuno in his sights as well. So I like the two sort of images with Lucius and then Yuno saying how they're both going to defeat each other. That was pretty badass. But, ending the chapter, we got to talk about it, guys. How Asta is unconscious and some mysterious person is, like, acknowledging it, saying, like, oh, there you are. Like, they were looking for him. Now, guys, I'm telling you right now, I believe this might actually be Lucius. Or not Lucius, sorry. Yeah, it's Lucius, right? No, this might actually be Julius, right? I feel as though this is an area, Asta was probably imprisoned in some sort of area where Lucius probably puts people that he uses his soul magic on. So if we remember, right, we can remember that Lucius put his soul magic, as of who we know so far, on Damasio, Julius, and Sister Lily. So I feel as though he may be in a space where, like, everyone that he's used his soul magic on resides. Like, their soul goes when he implants a new soul into them. I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that there's some sort of space that Lucius is able to have the souls he swaps out occupy. And it'll be very interesting to see who exactly this mysterious person who found Asta is. I can't wait for next week, guys. I really want to see if they're going to reveal him, or if they're just going to let this cliffhanger linger a little bit more until they actually say, like, oh, okay, this is such and such. My personal thoughts, I think it's Julius, but it very well could be a brand new character being implemented. I think that would be pretty cool. But that's going to go ahead and do it for my thoughts on the video, guys, on the chapter. This chapter absolutely blindsided me. I can't believe how crazy this chapter is. I find myself saying that every chapter, but more so this chapter. But that's going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a comment letting me know what you guys thought of the chapter and what you think is going to happen next. Who do you think that character who found Asta is? And if you guys did like today's video, go ahead and drop a like for me. It greatly helps out the video. And if you guys are new to the channel and like anime and manga related content such as this, consider sticking around and subscribing, as I'll be bringing you guys even more anime and manga related content like this video here. Yeah, guys, it's going to go ahead and do it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. See ya.